Hello, it's V from Movies Hunter, the world's most exciting source for movie explanations. Today we are diving into the 2006 classic Cashback, a film that promises to be a wild ride of laughter, tears, and heartwarming romance. Or as I like to call it, the trifecta of boredom. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, let's dive in and see if Cashback has what it takes to keep us entertained. Ben, brother of Emily, just kidding, the struggling artist with a broken heart, recounts the wreckage of his relationship with Susie as if it was a catastrophic car crash. Who knew love could hurt this bad? He is left scratching his head, wondering what went wrong in his seemingly perfect relationship. But hold up, wait a minute, Susie moves on to greener pastures with another guy named Steve just like 1 week after the breakup, so that's really convenient. Enter Sean, Ben's trusted wingman. When asked about the breakup with Susie, Ben explains that she was never satisfied and always wanted more. To which Sean replied with a smirk, "Well, why settle for anything less than the best? Why not date a gorgeous model and make Susie green with envy? That'll show her who's boss." Later, Ben stumbles into his art class like a zombie, just in time to see a naked man posing for the students to draw. Oh joy. And as if the day couldn't get any better, he catches the eye of a beautiful girl across the room. She is like an angel sent from heaven to distract him from the horror show in front of him. Ben, being the hopeless romantic that he is, forgets all about sketching the naked man and begins capturing the beauty of the girl on paper. She's all he can think about now. But later that night, as he is lying in bed, Ben's mind takes a walk down memory lane to the night he and Susie broke up. It was his brilliant idea to end things because he was convinced he couldn't make her happy. How wrong he was. That's what he thought, I don't know. A few days after the breakup, Ben starts having second thoughts and tries to win Susie back, but she's not having it. She tells him it's over and there's no turning back. Ben's heart is shattered into a million pieces, and so begins his journey into the land of insomnia, where all he can do is lay there and think about Susie and all the memories they shared. The more he thinks, the less he sleeps. So one day, Ben stumbles upon a flyer that says they're desperately seeking someone for their nighttime shift, and of course, he thinks to himself, what better way to take my mind off my ex Susie than to work at a grocery store all night? Enter Jenkins, the most enthusiastic boss you'll ever meet. He warmly welcomes Ben to the team with open arms and a stern warning to never ever stare at a spilled bag of peas without cleaning it up. Days turn into nights and Ben finds himself surrounded by a cast of characters that could rival any daytime soap opera. His co-workers are a motley crew of people just trying to kill time and escape boredom. But despite being surrounded by all these interesting people, Ben can't shake his thoughts of Susie. Oh, and did I mention he hasn't slept in like 2 whole weeks? Well, that's because boredom is a cruel mistress, but she gifted him with a special ability. The power to freeze time. I don't know how, but let's just go with the flow. Too bad though, he is still stuck at a grocery store surrounded by his fellow insomniacs and Jenkins' never-ending rules. In his own little frozen world, let it go. Ben stomps around like a boss, doing whatever he pleases, but as he strolls through the supermarket, he can't help but admire all the gorgeous ladies. You see, ever since he was just a young lad of 6 or 7, he has been completely fascinated with the female form. That's a weird way to describe it, but oh my goodness, the endless hours he spent just dreaming of freezing time and admiring a beautiful lady's physique for weeks on end, all while in his frozen world, of course. Ben is a wild imagination run amok because he mentally undresses every woman in the supermarket, sketching their assets in his mind. He fondly remembers his childhood best friend, Sean, who introduces him to the joys of female anatomy at a young age through his parents' collection of adult magazines. The innocence of youth, spoiled. Little did they know that they were on the path to becoming connoisseurs of the female form. Just like Ben, Sean was a man of refined taste, appreciating the finer things in life, aka women, from a tender age. Well, look who's getting all nostalgic about their adolescence. Ben, the neighborhood peeping Tom, paying good old Natalie 50 pence to get a glimpse of the goods. And then of course, all the other boys follow suit because why not? But hold on, what's this? Our boy Ben's developed a crush at the old supermarket on Sharon, no less. Talk about upgrading from a 50 pence pervert to a potential romance. And let's not forget about his harem of crushes from the past. First, an 18-year-old athlete, the epitome of teenage fantasies. Then there's the biology teacher, because who doesn't love a little taboo? And finally, the main squeeze, Tanya Green. Once upon a time, Tanya had a little mishap and ended up with a broken arm. But the real tragedy struck when her cast was removed and her arm was revealed to be a furry masterpiece. Who knew being a werewolf was so fashionable? Ben, who was fascinated with Tanya's new look, asked her to be his girlfriend. And then Tanya had the audacity to ask Ben if he wanted to kiss her. Wait, there's more. Ben said yes and then changed his mind because what's the point of making a decision when you can't just flip-flop? But just when things were getting interesting, Tanya's parents whisked her away to America. Talk about a cliffhanger. Fast forward to the thrilling world of supermarket football, where Jenkins and his team of uncoordinated misfits went up against another equally disappointing squad, and in the end they lost 26-0. But hey, at least they tried, right? I don't know what that means, but Ben, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders, decides to take a quick break from reality. He pauses time, because who needs time anyway, right? He takes a leisurely walk and stops at a local store to treat himself to a well-deserved drink. Little did he know the real treat was yet to come. As he strolled through the frozen world, he spots another person, who to his surprise was not frozen like the rest of the world. Ben couldn't believe his luck. He wasn't the only one with a superpower. Who would have thought that being able to stop time could lead to making friends? After the match, Ben and Sharon head to a quaint little cafe. Ben, mustering up all the courage he had, asks Sharon if she is seeing anyone. When she replies with a resounding nope, Ben can feel a huge weight lifting off his shoulders. Finally, a chance to win her heart, or someone's heart. Sharon then tells Ben about her passion for Spanish and how she wants to travel to far-off lands. Ben, being the aspiring artist that he is, shares his dreams of one day becoming a painter. Sharon is completely fascinated, as if she's never heard of a man with a dream before. As they chat, they both start to feel a spark. Ben, the man with a heart of ice on the kissing skills of a beginner, finally musters up the courage to go in for the smooch. But of course, fate had other plans, and he ends up planting one on her cheek instead. The next day, Jenkins rolls out of the red carpet for his birthday extravaganza, and as if being defeated wasn't enough, now they have to celebrate the loss. But wait, there's more. Sharon pops the question and asks Ben to be her +1 for the party. Ben finally gets to put on his best outfit and show off his mad dance moves. Jenkins tasks Ben with finding a stripper, and who does he call in for backup? None other than the party animal himself, Sean. The two set out on a wild adventure to find the perfect stripper for the bash, and as if that wasn't enough, Ben is now head over heels for Sharon and can't seem to shake her out of his head. He spends all his time freezing time and sketching, but instead of drawing just any woman, he can only see Sharon's beautiful face. The day before the party, Sharon saunters up to Ben and sweetly asks for a ride. Ben, being the gentleman he is, says yes, but little does he know, Sharon's kiss will send his mind and heart into a tailspin. That night, for the first time in ages, Ben finally catches a good night's sleep. The next day, Ben gets a call from a fancy, schmancy art guy named Alex from the gallery. Apparently, Alex was blown away by Ben's drawings at the university and wants to show the world what Ben's got. But wait, it's actually just a prank by Ben's co-workers at the supermarket. Ben, naive as ever, falls for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Later that night, Ben goes to pick up Sharon for the party of the year. The two lovebirds arrive, and Ben proudly introduces Sharon to his friend Sean. But wait, Susie, Ben's ex, arrives. Talk about awkward. And if that wasn't enough excitement for one night, a stripper shows up to perform for the birthday boy Jenkins. But what do you know? She runs into Sean, and he instantly recognizes her. It's none other than Natalie, who went from garage girl to stripper queen. Sean can't resist her charm and asks her to join him for a drink, and to everyone's shock, she agrees. So Ben stumbles upon the bathroom and runs into Susie, who decides to grace him with an apology for not giving him a shot in the past. And then she had the audacity to ask for a second chance. But of course, Ben, being the smart cookie, says no way. But Susie just can't take a hint and goes in for the kiss. And just as luck would have it, Sharon walks in and sees the whole thing go down. Like every goddamn cliche in the whole movie world. Heartbroken, she storms out of the party and Ben is stuffed there like a deer in headlights. So he does what any person would do, he freezes time and tries to escape. But the universe has other plans and he realizes that Sharon saw the kiss, and now he is stuck in a frozen world trying to figure out how to fix his mess. But as it turns out, he can't change anything that has already happened, so he spends 2 whole days in a frozen world trying to find a solution. But eventually, he realizes that he's just beating a dead horse and lets Sharon go. Fast forward to Sharon's apartment, where Ben tries to explain everything, but Sharon is in no mood to listen to him. It's like deja vu, a reenactment of the opening scene with Susie, and just like that, Ben experiences another confrontation. The next day, Ben stumbles into work with a cup of coffee in hand, only to realize Sharon isn't there. He tries to shrug it off, thinking, good for her, I can finally have a peaceful day at work. But little does he know, his co-workers have other plans. They pull the ultimate prank on Ben, making him believe that Alex, the most successful art gallery owner in town, actually wants to see his artwork. So with a skip in his step, Ben rushes to meet Alex, eager to show off his drawings. But of course, Alex denies ever calling him, and Ben realizes he's been had. Awesome, just what I needed, another disappointment in my life, Ben thinks to himself. But then Alex takes a quick look at Ben's work and his jaw drops. Wow, this is actually pretty good, Alex says with a hint of surprise. Ben's work is a hit, and Alex decides to exhibit his drawings. Joke's on you, co-workers. Sharon, who has been living under a rock, receives an invitation to the exhibition and decides to go. When she walks in and sees Ben's drawings, she is completely stunned. All the portraits at the exhibition are of her. She is moved by them and goes to congratulate Ben for his success. Sharon realizes that Ben loves her a lot, and what she saw was just a misunderstanding. As they kiss each other, Ben freezes time and shares his ability to freeze time with Sharon. They step outside into the frozen world and embrace each other in a time-frozen snowfall. And so this was the story of Cashback. See you in the next hunt. Love you!